Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Greetings from the unreality where Square Enix finally resisted the temptation of porting The World Ends With You to your smart fridge. They finally decided to give us a sequel. Neo The World Ends With You, or TWEWY, as the fans will inevitably call it, a new TWEWY game that seemed to have taken heavy inspiration from Persona 5. And with that comes a whole new cast of characters, and the characters aren't from the mid-2000s. Look, while that was my time, Neku was always insufferable and the Zoomers are much more entertaining. Surprisingly, they were enjoyable, to where there wasn't a single member of this cast that I didn't like, especially Shoka. Hey look, they put me in the game. The World Ends With You has always been a product of its time, and this is the Nomura Still Loves Plaid timeline. Either it's all connected to Kingdom Hearts 3 or he's really showing his support for the bisexual community. The visual style for TWEWY is nothing short of impressive. From the hyper-stylized budget Shibuya, the comic panel cutscenes with the Okami paint strokes, and Rendo's drip, this game is brimming with personality. There are plenty of different portraits to allow for this game to be expressive, which is smart because most of the games in this genre will go for the most basic cutscenes ever. Yes, even Cold Steel. The voice acting is also stellar if you're cool without getting the creator's original intent. If Square Enix can just go back and add full voice acting to all the main story quests, and even idle chatter, then things will be more enjoyable. It's the year 2021 and I should not have to read. Just consider it. Combat for the game was something upon first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you get the idea, glance. In the trailers, I wasn't sure about. It wasn't until I got my hands on the demo that I learned that it's actually what people call fun. Instead of just controlling one character like in the first game, you control a whole party, almost like you have friends. Your mission? Eliminate all the noise. No, I don't mean muting accounts on Twitter, but rather it's what the enemies are called. Combat flows very well and the combos feel good. Though, I'll wait for Blitz to make video guides so I can learn how to have the most broken builds with minimal effort. For now, it was fine, and with the amount of pins that were in the demo, I suspect by the time Neo TWEWY comes out, we'll be drowning in pins just like this game will drown in Persona 5 comparisons. While in the first The World Ends With You, you had to use the touchscreen, or Joy-Cons if you were really feeling masochistic. Here, you actually have pins mapped to the buttons this time, just as God intended, and it works incredibly. Of course, you can only play with 3 party members in the demo, but I imagine getting that 4th is where things will get really fun. You also don't have to worry about the AI being as smart as a Kingdom Hearts theory, because you constantly control them all at the same time. If you manage to drop the beat, as the devs say, you can increase your groove. If your groove meter reaches 100%, you can totally own these noobs. Wait, wrong time era. Shit gets lit, fam. Depending on how well you do, you can get better grades and bigger PP. I can't even talk about this game without mentioning the music, which has always been a high point in the series.